against the Dutch crews from Skol and Orca clubs. And wow, look at the start from the Dutch on the right-hand side. They blasted out in these very first few strokes to almost a length.
That's amazing start. The steering's a little bit wayward. You see the difference in style. Leander Cruz holding the finishes a bit longer. The Dutch really just much more the front end of the stroke. Leander Cruz steering really tight line there across the buoys towards the booms.
Very aggressive, very punchy start there from the Dutch crew.
Yeah, and the Leander crew, they're moving out to about half a length, maybe not quite yet, and moving very nicely there. Moving there. Stroke Sam Keown doing a very good job on the stroke seat.
As we move up to Forley, we'll see how this is starting to pan out, and it is still very tight between these two crews, both crews with their rating up. But Leander, as you say, Adrian, they're just finishing off their strokes a little bit better. They were from the get-go, whereas the Dutch crew were really spinning at quite a high rate onto those strokes, and it looked like they were struggling to really sit back into a stronger sort of rhythm.
Yeah, they have a slightly different approach to the stroke, but they just look like they're slightly over their oar handles at the finish and they haven't generated enough acceleration on their oar handles. Whereas that Leander crew, there's a really good swing with their body, and it generates a really opening up and creating good finishes there. It's kind of funny for me commentating because I looked after and coached Sam Keown a little bit when he was a junior up in Northern Ireland when I was coaching the Irish team. So it's really nice to see him come over here and do a really good job stroking this crew. Yeah, it's a very well drilled crew, this Leander crew. The blade works very even, really uniform movements.
And the Leander crew stroked by Sam McEwen, Sebastian Devroe in 3-seat, James Cartwright in 2, and Victor Kleshnev in the bow seat. Two 19-year-olds in the bow, the young men, 24 years of age, Sebastian and Sam. So a little bit of mixture of youth and experience in this Leander boat.
Yeah.
Slightly heavier.
A bit of a crowd there by the Skol and Orca crew. So two of the members of the Skol crew, or Orca crew here, were winners last year. So this shows you the caliber of these crews. The fact this Leander crew is, at the moment, a length up on two guys who have really good pedigree in this event. Good here there, you can see on the progress board, it says the length going through the 3/4 mile post. Both crews still keeping it together really nicely.
Wow, you can see they're working for it though, aren't they? This is not an easy race, and that's often the misconception with rowing, because I think it looks so rhythmical and it looks so lovely on TV to watch, but then you get this great camera angle into the boat and you can see exactly how hard these athletes are working.
Yeah, and that was very clear in some of the single sculls races this afternoon as well. You don't get ahead without working as hard as you possibly can. People think it's, and like people say to you, why is the forward crew leading the other crew? So many factors, isn't there? You know, you're not just stronger, it's not just good technique. There's confidence, composure. Orca crew here struggling with their steering. It's going to be horrible rowing in that wash.
Yes, and there is a little bit of overlap, so I think that the umpire will surely have something to say about that quite soon. Oh, and a crap there for Leander. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster.
That's going to really give Skol a sniff now. They're coming back onto their station. They've gone back to half a length. Oh no, let's see what happens now. The Leander crew, can they be composed enough and do something?
Oh my gosh, I'm not even quite sure what happened there, but Leander had a little bit of a mishap, but the adrenaline that goes through after something like that happens, you can see that I actually think that that's given the Leander crew a little bit of a spur on after that stoppage there. Fortunately, the Dutch crew moving back onto their station, so avoiding an oar clash. The umpire was going to have a lot on their hands very quickly then.
Which certainly would have done. But the Skol crew here is half a length, come down to the last couple of 100 meters. They've really jacked the rate up. This is going to be a close final now. Oh my God, the Skol crew is really attacking now, making the most of this down the enclosures. Can the Leander crew hold them off?
Oh my gosh, look here, they come down to the line. Leander, they're giving it everything, but it looks to me like the Dutch have it. They're in a boat wash, but they've got the rate up. Wow, heartbreak for Leander.
Oh, that mistake was what's going to cost them. That is an amazing race. Never give up, even when you're down.
And haven't we seen that time and time again on the Henley course?
So the two guys who won last year, the experience paid off.
As we can see from above there, the moment where Leander just catches a